So, Boxing Day is my co-host today. So yes, I've just been outside. There has been a glimpse of sun. You can tell people are desperate for it. There was quite a few people out. And I went to get some flowers for my friend and neighbor whose birthday it is today. And we're going over later on for coffee. By we, I mean Elfie and I, because this is, they're also her cat sitters every now and then, and she loves going over to the East Wing, as we call it. I didn't actually film much last night because it just gets very repetitive, doesn't it? In my case anyway. I watched movies. Actually, I watched Oppenheimer. That is finally available to rent on Apple. I think literally just now, because I kept checking, I wanted to see it. A bit depressing, but all in all good. And now I'm just getting flowers ready so that I don't need to worry about it later. And I've also got the rest of the food, so nice little Christmas lunch leftovers in the oven. And that's that. Today I wanted to quickly touch on journaling and New Year's prompts, because it's something I do every year. So hang on, now you can't see me anymore. I know there's tons of mood boards, New Year's resolutions, all of that. It's not that. So I'll just tell you what works for me and has worked for me for quite a few years actually. And maybe you find it helpful. Maybe some of it you can just let go and not think about it, but there may be one or the other that works for you. So the one prompt I love the most, not only at the end of the year, but throughout the year or whenever I'm in a difficult situation, is what would you do if there was no way to fail? And it has helped me sort of acknowledge some of my fears quite a bit in the past, because it kind of made me realize that there are things that I'm holding myself back with, rather than blaming the world for holding me back. So just looking at my trusted mirror water notebook, because this is, I've done this in here for 2023 actually. I'm looking at it. This is interesting because it's the first time I'm looking at it since I've done it, so a year ago. Not bad. Obviously I was in a different situation. Back then I didn't know I was going to lose my job. Once I've done that sort of overall prompt, I go into 6 months and 12 months. So like 2 columns. And for each of those I put down have, be and do. As in, I want to have, I want to be, I want to do. And that... honestly, life is so funny. So for 12 months I've put down have 5k more savings. I have more than that because of my redundancy pay. I put the Laurence rug, which is lying behind me, which I found on eBay as a, like in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep, and I was looking through eBay and I found it and bought it and drove to Berlin to pick it up. A week in France with Lotteberg, which I did. I did touch on it in a previous vlog. I was very, very organized last year. I put costs behind it, so I knew what it would cost me. That's part 2. And then as part 3, I put 2024 in this case, intentions. I want to quit, learn, try, have, start, continue to. And point 7 is I want to be. And then number 8 would be I want to stop. Let me see what I've got here. I find it quite interesting that I'm looking at it whilst I'm on camera. I want to learn Portuguese, and I did. have consistent savings to feel secure. Tick. Right now. Let's see if I can keep that status. Continue to travel with Elfie. I did. Continue to travel as much as possible without planes. I did. I only did one plane trip, which was in August to Portugal. Everything else I did by car or by train. All these three approaches build up on each other and intertwine, and so you might find it repetitive, but for me it helps me to look at things differently. So the third part would be 2023 intentions, and then I put personal 1, 2, 3, health 1, 2, 3, career 1, 2, 3, recreational 1, 2, 3, home 1, 2, 3, spiritual 1, 2, 3. So let's have a quick look. Personal. Big one actually. Personal, the third point was make peace with family triggers, and I feel like I've come a long way with my family this year, to be honest, in terms of being at peace with certain things, like just the fact that I've had the courage and a guilt-free mindset to spend Christmas on my own because I knew it would be better for me, shows that I think I'm more at ease with what I want. We need to deal with this in 2023. Elfie, 9. So that was personal, health. Try to get into running again. I tried. I did that one video where I was talking about how I'm trying to get back into it, and then I got COVID basically, and I'm still recovering from that. I'm still very out of breath by just walking over to the flower shop basically. Career, well, we can... Number 2, career. Let go of toxic energy. I guess I was made to let go. Home. Paint the walls in my living room. Did. There's one thing that I personally will include very heavily in next year's resolution. I got this mindful advent calendar from my friend when she was visiting for my birthday, and one of the cards I put on top, because this is something I really want to work on, and I think I need to work on it if I want to have my own business. And it's having a millionaire mindset, as in abundance, as in letting go of lack mentality, because this is something I struggle a lot with. I do spend money, but I feel incredibly guilty every time I do it, and I want to get rid of that guilt. I want to be able to have more trust in how I manage my finances, because I know I can, I always have. I've always been quite independent financially. That is on top of my list and on top of my intentions to keep in mind for 2024. So yeah, that is what I'll be doing between Christmas and New Year. Again, this might not be for you. I've done it in the past. I've even done like mind maps to kind of visualize it. It helps me a lot. And like now, I literally close the book and let it sit there and let it work. It's magic. I do think it does steer you in the right direction. And one last thing before I let go of this topic is that I saw someone say the other day that when setting your goals, you should almost set goals that are kind of out of reach rather than making them safe goals, because when they're out of reach and when it's almost like dream big, it's that they get exciting, and that really resonated with me, rather than just doing them to have something to tick off at the end of the year. So I think the whole what would you do if there was no way to fail is quite a good approach to do exactly that. Think big. Okay, so that has been 20 minutes of me chatting to the camera. I hope you found it helpful. I hope you enjoyed this little mini series. If you did, do give it a like or maybe subscribe to the channel. It helps me to know that my words reach people, even if it's just 2 or 5. So do comment, like or subscribe if this is something that you've enjoyed. Thanks for watching, really appreciate it, and I think I probably see you in the new year.